Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to do Sarah's intermediate method for Skewb, as well as show you the finger tricks that I use. Okay, so before we get started, you should already know how to do the beginner method, and you should know how to do a sledgehammer. What I'm going to do right now is show you the finger tricks that I use to do a sledgehammer, so as to execute it much faster. Okay, so the finger tricks that I use is holding the solved side on the bottom here in your left hand, 2 fingers on top and your thumb resting here. So you've got the headlights there still facing out to the right. What you're going to do is pull down like that and push across with those fingers, and then with your thumb pull that side and then pull back up with your fingers. It's really quite that simple, and you can execute it rather fast. Now the other one I want to show you for Sarah's intermediate method is an algorithm called the Hedge slammer. Now with a sledgehammer we come down with the right side first, then the left side, then the right side up, and the left side up. For a hedge slammer it's done the opposite way. We do the left side down first, then the right side, then the left side up, and then the right side up. And how I finger trick this is again holding the side on the bottom here. Instead of the fingers on top here, what I'm doing is I'm going to turn my hand around the other way, and I'm going to pop my fingers on the green side here and my thumb on top. And I'm going to turn down like that, and with my thumb I'm going to push like that. Then my fingers here, I'm going to drag that across and then rotate that back up. So again, fingers pulling there, twist. And that is a hedge slammer. Okay, moving on to the different cases that we have for Sarah's intermediate method. I'm going to assume you already know how to solve the bottom. So in all these cases we're going to have the white bottom solved, and we're going to be solving the yellow top. Now when you've got the headlights here, we're looking for where the yellow centre is. And when you're holding it on the right and the yellow centre is facing you at the front, really simple, you should know this one from the beginner method. It's just a sledgehammer that solves the yellow top. Now when you're facing the headlights here and the centre's off to the right, pop the headlights to your left and do a hedge slammer. It solves the top. Here's another case you should know from the beginner method. When you've got all 4 yellow corners up top, find the yellow centre, put it in the back, do a sledgehammer, and as you rotate twice, you'll notice we've got this case with the headlights here on the right hand side and the yellow centre here, another sledgehammer. So again, yellow centre in the back, yellow corners up top, sledgehammer, rotate twice, sledgehammer. The next case I want to show you is when you've got headlights and you've got yellow on top. Hold the headlights to the left and just do a double sledgehammer. One sledgehammer gets you this case. We've got the headlights on your right and the centre at the front. So again, headlights, yellow on top, hold headlights to the left, double sledge. Okay, there are 2 more headlight cases that I want to show you, but before we get to those, I want to show you these next 4 cases first, where we have no headlights, got the 2 yellow corners here, and the 2 that are up top here, yellow centre on the left hand side, and in this case it's on the front right hand side. Okay, what you want to do when you've got the yellow centres at the front, you want to put the yellow centres so they are both on the left, and do sledgehammer, rotate here and do a sledgehammer. And with this case, holding it so again that the yellow centre is on the left, do a sledge, and in this time we've got a hedge slammer. Okay, for these next 2 cases, where we don't have headlights, got the yellow corners here and here, and we've got the yellow centre in the back this time. Here it's on the left hand side, and in this case, yellow corners at the front here, and the yellow centre's on the right hand side. Now when it was at the front, we held it to the left and did the sledgehammer here. Now when it's in the back, we want to do the opposite and hold it in the right and do the sledgehammer here. Sledgehammer, rotate, this gives us a sledgehammer. For this one here, it's in the right, again, holding it in the right, do the sledgehammer from here. And this one gives us a hedge slammer. Okay, this brings us back to our final two cases with headlights. One where we have the centre directly behind the headlights, and one where we've got the centre directly in front of the headlights. Holding it so we've got headlights in the front and the centre at the back, do a sledgehammer, and that brings up this case, where if you remember, with the corners facing us and the centre on the right, we hold it to the left and do sledgehammer, and then that gives us this case, hedge slammer. Now for the case where we've got the headlights at the front and the centre directly in front of it, put the centre to the back, sledgehammer, and that gives us this case where the centre's at the back, the two corners in the front here. So from here, sledgehammer, rotate, hedge slammer. Okay, and the final case here is where we don't have headlights and we've got the yellow centre on top. So holding it so our two corners that are not orientated are in the front and the right back here. So front left, right back. Holding here, do a sledgehammer. That gives us this case. Move it to the right there. Sledgehammer gives us this case. Hedge slammer. Moving on to our last layer cases. You should know this one from the beginner method. This is simple U-perm, where we have one of our remaining four sides already solved. We want to hold that in the bottom, and we want to have the two opposites, front and top. Do a sledgehammer, rotate twice, sledgehammer. These are the final two cases. This one here is where we have our centres needing swapping directly opposite. Green centre with the blue corners, red centre with the orange corners, blue centre with the green corners, orange centre with the red corners. So these two centres need to swap, and these two centres need to swap. So to do this one, holding it so you've got the yellow on top and the white on the bottom. From any side, do a sledgehammer, rotate twice, do a hedge slammer, rotate twice again, and do a sledgehammer. And the final case, this is a Z-perm, where these two here need swapping, and these two here need swapping. Now there are two different ways you can do this. Whatever works better for your finger tricks, I guess. So holding it so you've got the two centres that need swapping directly next to each other, move one above the top of the other. So they're green directly above the orange here, and do 3 sledgehammers. And then bring that back down. The other way you can do a Z-perm, and I'm not very quick with this one yet, I'm still trying to work out the finger tricks for it myself, but this seems to be one of the more popular ways to do it. Holding it so you've got, you can see all 4 colours here, so green and red, blue and orange, and do R, L prime, U prime, L, U, L, R, L prime, R. So that is pretty much all you need to know for Sarah's intermediate method. What I'm going to do now is go through a couple of solves very quickly and just give you the idea. Now it's pretty important to be colour neutral with Skewb as well if you want to be fast, because look here, for example, I've got two blue corners already attached to the blue centre, so it'd be much quicker to start with that one than any other face. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So here's another blue corner up, and the final one's here, it's flipped. Bring that up, and we're looking at the green tops here, and we've got no headlights, the 2 corners facing us here, green centre in the back. So we want to do the sledgehammer from here. Gives us another sledgehammer, and then this gives us a U-perm, just like that. Oops. Now with this case here, looking around, and I'm going to start with the green one here. Got one already attached here. I'm going to bring this one up. Bring that down and up like that, and the final one there. And we've got the blue centers here, and the corners here. No headlights, so do that one. Hedge into sledge into hedge, and then we've got a H-perm. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you were able to pick up some tips there to help you get much faster at Skewb. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, see if I can answer them. Other than that, thanks for watching. Cheers.